guys, welcome back to Mickey's Corner. Hey guys, so today we are gonna actually do story time. No funny videos and that stuff today, it's just story time. You're gonna learn about me. So, we're gonna talk about the first time I've ever dated a guy. A male, yes, a female dated a male. This female. Okay, so I was a freshman in Hawaii. First time ever going to school there, because I did 8th grade year homeschool. So this guy, we'll call him Paulie, because I don't want to give his name out, just leave him alone. So Paulie was my older brother Sean's best friend. And my first day of school, new, everything on the new kid thing, so I hung out with my older brother and he introduced me to Paulie. Paulie sounds like a girl's name. Okay, so Paul is something like Paulie, yeah, okay, so Paulie literally was about my friend for basically the entire school year. And about second quarter, end of first quarter area, we got really close and he knew I had interest in dating they're not dating, but like interest in like how I feel about a female. Like I knew I had feelings for females, but I didn't know if I had a feeling for males at all. And so him as my close friend, we were often talking about how I was feeling, and he expressed to me one day that he had honestly liked me. And at that moment I was just like, what? You're my best friend. What? You know, I don't like, no. And he's like, well, I know. And I'm like, you know, I like girls. And he's like, I know, that's fine. And I'm like, and this isn't some weird twist. And he's like, oh, no. He's like, I'm your friend, I know this. And I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with that? And he says, well, you know I like you and you're like my closest friend. And I'm like, yeah, you're my closest friend too right now. And he's like, we have our other friends, but we're really close. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and you don't know, this is a good way to figure it out. And I'm like, okay, where is this going? And he goes, do you want to date? And I'm like, you want to date? I'll think about it. And I left him at that for about 2 days because I didn't know what the hell to say. And I come back to him 2 days later and I'm like, you know, why not? Because I didn't know. So I figured it out. But I made it very clear to him, if I find out that I do not like males, if anything happens where I know and it's a no and it's just to end, it has to end. And like, he got that. And so I was like, okay, we can try this. So we were dating and we hugged, which was not that awkward. I mean, we were best friends. I just made sure I didn't forget that part. And so we hugged, we hung out a lot, he came over more. But we introduced each other's boyfriend, girlfriend, and I didn't have an issue with it, but this was all, mind you, after he went through, I think it was about a month of almost torture from my dad. Who literally, he made him walk through rain, up hills for like miles to come to our house, because the area we lived in, Pahoa, it was raining all the time. And he lived in Volcano, so we would take the city bus, or the town bus, and another bus, and another bus, and then walk all the way to my house in the rain. Cold, hard rain. To just talk to my dad. Not even to see me. Just to get questioned by my dad. And scared to death, never breaking my heart. And so we ended up dating, and it wasn't going bad. I mean, I can't say I had an issue with it. He was a great guy. I will say he had girlier features. I mean, he had some curly, long, blonde top hair. His face was more girlier than masculine, so, you know, it was kind of given to some of my family. They were like, you know, it's kind of a girly dude. And I'm like, I know. And with that, though, I ended up developing, like, feelings for him. And I ended up, like, I guess you could say falling in love with him, right? And I was not only his best friend at that point, he was like, I reconciled him as my boyfriend. I was like, you are my boyfriend, I have feelings for you and everything. And we were really close, and granted, my older brother was like, dude, it's my best friend, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, he ever hurts you? And I'm like, I know. My little brother at the time, don't get me started on him, he was like, dude, don't hurt him if he ever does anything. So he would come over all the time, we'd play games on the Wii, the Xbox, whatever, and just goof around, really. And then I had to move back to California. with the family, because we were moving back here. And he and I decided that we were not going to break up. We were going to stay together and see how that went, like the whole long distance thing. And because it was like he started crying a little bit, and I was like hecka upset. He stayed with me the last night I was there, and then the night before I went to the airport, we took him home, and I was crying. And then on the plane flight, I cried, all that stuff and everything. They say tearing your phones off on the plane. I didn't turn my phone off. We were texting. And then it was about, I'd say, a week and a half when we got back into California. We got settled in our place and everything. And he broke up with me. And I was devastated for like a couple days, actually, like really hurt. And it turns out I found out the real story of why he broke up with me. He just told me this whole thing, like, oh, it's long distance, oh, it's not gonna work, you're so far, the whole feelings, I can't touch you, we're not physically around, blah, 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 right? Whole blah thing about everything, right? It turns out he cheated on me with one of my closest, like, girly friends that were there. We'll call her Suzanne. That wasn't her name, but whatever. And Suzanne and me were like really, really, really close. Like she knew me since like 8th grade. The homeschooling, she was in the homeschool with me, the whole program and everything. She had feelings for him, and she knew the whole thing about us, and she was okay with it because she knew I needed to figure it out. But she had real feelings for him, so I was like, oh, don't worry, I probably don't have feelings like that and everything. And I had found out like in the middle of our relationship after he kissed me for like the first time. I was like, dude, no, I will never kiss another guy. But it was like different because yeah, I never wanted to kiss him again. But I still had the feelings for him, like they were already there, so I couldn't like get rid of them. And so I found out he cheated on me with her. And then about 2 months down the road, he did the same thing to her he did to me. She moved back to California, down to Oakland with her family to meet some cousins and stuff like that. And he did the same thing, cheated on her with her best friend. And after that, I knew. I was like, okay, you are some fuckboy. Okay, that's like, really? 2 girls, 2 closest friends, you're gonna screw them over like that just for the other one's best friend? Just to turn out that he ended up dating the school slut, and he ended up staying with the school slut, going to prom with the school slut, then breaking up the school slut to go to another school and date the same type of thing, the other school slut. And so now I know. If you are ever questioning, and you have a very strong attachment feeling, like you know you like girls, and this dude looks girly as all hell, unless you have an actual motion of thought that you will actually fall in love with him and marry him and be with him for the rest of your life, just don't do it. Just don't. Just stick to girls, try dating some girls, see how that works out, and then just, if you know, stay away from guys, because they suck. And I'm not saying that as a lesbian, I'm saying that as a human being. They just suck. And so yeah, that's the story of the first time I ever dated a guy, and I will never, ever, ever do it again. Happy with my girlfriend I've got now, so yeah. Hey, so, yeah, that was that. You guys should just thumbs up this video and comment about maybe the first time you ever dated a guy, or first time you dated a girl, any of that kind of stuff. And just subscribe over here and stick around for more information about me or just getting to know my channel. Yeah.